calling 2022 CR 10951, State of Texas versus Sebastian Hernandez. Could the parties please make announcements?
Jeff Mulliner and Jeffrey Wright for the State of Texas.
Robert Maurer and Trey Maurer for defendant Sebastian Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, are you the same Sebastian Hernandez who in this cause number is charged by true bill of indictment with the offense of murder?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a first-degree felony that carries a range of punishment from 5 to 99 years or life in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division with a possible fine of up to $10,000. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have certain rights in this case. You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to require the state to bring in witnesses and evidence against you and prove this case to a jury. Through your attorney, you would have the right and opportunity to question and confront all of the witnesses and evidence against you, and you'd have the right to remain silent throughout the entire process. Do you understand you have these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your wish to waive these rights today and enter a plea?
Yes.
Speak louder.
Oh, yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
I'm still obligated to make sure you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea on an offense like this could affect your ability to stay in the country, result in deportation, or the denial of naturalized citizenship under federal law. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with the representation you've received?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, any questions as to your client's mental competency?
No, Judge, there is none.
Do you also join in the discovery acknowledgement agreement acknowledging compliance with 3914 of the Code of Criminal Procedure?
I do.
That's signed and made part of the court record. Mr. Hernandez, you and I are going to go over your agreement. Your agreement is with the state of Texas alone, not the court. That means I don't have to follow your agreement. If I choose not to, I'll let you know, allow you to step back, withdraw your plea, and we start all over again. If I do follow your agreement, you will not have my permission to appeal or complain about my decision at a later time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are agreeing to a cap of 32 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division, a $2,000 fine, an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. You are not applying for any sort of supervision or deferred adjudication. You are agreeing that sudden passion will be determined by the court during the sentencing hearing, and both parties reserve the right to present evidence during the sentencing hearing as to the issues of sudden passion. You also agree that you are subject to the full range of punishment if you fail to appear for any court setting, commit any new offenses, or violate any order of the court, which includes your bond conditions. Is that how you understood your agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel
It is, Judge.
and state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, to the offense alleged in count 1 of this indictment as a first-degree felony, the offense of murder, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Do you understand, sir, that despite a plea of no contest, if the state provides me with enough proof, I can still find you guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you enter into this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone force you or promise you anything to do this?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept the plea, find it freely and voluntarily given, and Mr. Hernandez competent to enter into it, and I'll ask the state for proof.
We offer States Exhibit number 1 and 2. Note for the record, States Exhibit number 1 is about 2 inches of loose documentary investigatory evidence, and States Exhibit number 2 is a zip drive that has a number of items, many of which are duplicitous with the documents in front of the court, but it's just to make sure we have a comprehensive quantity of evidence for the court's review, since we'll have an evidentiary hearing.
We have no objections, Judge.
States Exhibit 1 and 2 are admitted, made part of the court record. Based on the evidence presented by the state, I find it sufficient to substantiate guilt, and I will make a finding of guilt at this time. We are going to reset this matter for a PSI only. We do not need a TAP evaluation. So, Mr. Hernandez, you have agreed, and it is part of your plea bargain agreement, that you will attend all future court dates and not commit any bond violations or new offenses. If that does happen, that will have an effect on the plea bargain agreement that you entered into. Do you understand that, sir? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and reset this matter for a PSI. If you'll have a seat, probation will give you the information for your next evaluation, and your attorney will have your next court date. Thank you very much.
Just,
Thank you.
Carolyn said they're just gonna go ahead and send him, they're gonna contact him later because of the medical issues.
Okay, thank you very much. We're in recess.
And I'll be ready, I'm ready on my next one over too.
Okay, and so, actually, off the record, on Mr. Hernandez, how long, I know you guys wanna put on sudden passion, so is it gonna be
I'd say a couple hours.
a couple hours?
Yeah, I don't have anything, so it's him and whatever response I have, so a couple hours
Okay.
plus if
So-
I choose to respond.
Yeah.
Sarah, on Mr. Hernandez, we're gonna need time set out for about a 2-hour hearing, please. I don't know if you wanna leave it on the first, or that's completely up to you.